Lesson 14. Newspaper magazine. Part 1. Do you prefer to read a newspaper or magazine? I don't have special liking for reading newspaper or magazine. It's quite on in a blue moon, and I often read news on smartphone. It's quite fast and convenient. I can easy to connect with the information, update from up to date news all over the world is quite convenient. And for me, now newspaper or magazine is not gaining popular for young people in my countries. Uh, did you read comic book as a child? Honestly, it's not my own time favorites. I really into horror book as a child. I think it's completely terrific, and I often read it before sleeping. I think it's quite interesting with exhilarating story like mixed with the vivid illustration, and it's really stress and let my head down. Are newspaper popular in Vietnam? you know it's not the topic that I spend time for this, because um, you know a magazine or a newspaper is not my cup of tea. So honestly, I think that's it is not gain a high um, pre- perce- perce- appreciation is comparison with former day. In the past, I think that people still read them as a means of update, but now it's streamed by online news. For readings online popular in Vietnam. I think with the advent of internet and smartphone, reading online become more and more prevalent. It's such as like essential part for our life. First, I think that fast, convenient, and always be updated on update up to date news around the world. And I think that lots of people choose it because of tons of its advantage. It's also make people relax and gains knowledge from all over the world. The people in Vietnam like reading newspaper and magazine in general. Yes, definitely. People in Vietnam uh, have uh, have with tradition such as urging to learn. They spend most of time reading some kind of book to improve themselves and broaden a window of mind to new horizon. And I think that they learn the way to conquer new thing, or to conquer a new thing or challenge something. Do people prefer to read news online or in newspaper? To be honest, I have special liking for read news online. With the advent of internet and smartphone, reading online become more and more prevalent. They're such an essential part for our life. They're quite fast, convenient, and be update on up to date news around the world. It makes people feel relaxed after a hard working day, and they also gain knowledge from all over the world. And I think that's a lot of people choose this because of tone of its advantage. Part 3. What is the influence of reading on people? I think that they can help people broaden a window mind to new horizon, and then they can have in-depth understanding from a lot of news of areas. And I think that's on the other hand, they can apply something you read into reality, and then they can land a decent job, and mm, therefore can, people can meet the requirements. really make people feel happy and make them at ease. And they also teach people lesson to help them become mature and careful before making any decision. So what the difference is between a newspaper and a magazine? Uh, I think that's just the advent of online reading, news, and online reading, newspaper and magazine become less prevalent. And you know that I read them once in a blue moon, so it's quite hard for me to distinguish the difference between newspaper or magazine. Let's I get this. First, I think this newspaper is public diary. Meanwhile, we can only see magazine on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly basis. In addition, I think that newspaper contain tons of information from different areas such as sports, policy, um, security, economy, culture, food, or something. Um, can and whereas magazines always focused on a certain field, that's people that's the reader concentrates on, or that's reader pay more attention on. Do you think headlights are important? Yes, definitely. Honestly, his like such as like first thing that make people have decision whether they read the website, magazine or not. We need to take care much on headline. It should be is short, special, unique and deep to attract, to to make people feel wow, it's so exciting. And then they will and this can grab attention of reader or web visitor. Which is more important, domestic or international news? I think that's domestic news is biggest concern in my countries. I totally agree with this idea because people need to know what happened in our countries daily about sports, policy, society, economic, or something. It's such a like basic thing that a lot of people need to have in depth knowledge about this. After that, they should pay attention on international news. I think that people need to have comprehension knowledge because it's always update on update up to date events around the world. And in conclusion, I think first thing you need to concern is domestic news, and then they all and then and then international news because I think that's something happened in our countries can can about the fight can attack is like about the war to attack with the economic in the country or about the military or something. How have newspaper changed over the last few decades in your country? In former newspaper, a main means of update, uh, and people used to give them high appreciation with the more popular source of news. But over the last few decades, with the advent of online reading, satellite TV channel, and internet, newspaper go out of my mind, and people can easily people on the other hand, people can easily to have information update on uh, on update uh, on up to date event around the world, and they and that bring people turn up advantage with accuracy, speed, and convenience. Uh, do you think the government have a right to censor the press? Yes, of course. I think that government try the best to censor the media. They are doing really well, and they control the information to provide for people to make sure that it's suitable. It is a real news with certain evidence. And however, sometimes people only see a part of reality, uh, and I think that sometimes the information should not be controlled because uh, they carry they carry out the fight of fighting mission 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 and help her to blow the whistle or something wrong. Do you think electronic media will replace traditional one? Yes, definitely. With the advent of internet and smartphone and electronic media, uh, it's become increasingly prevalent for users with turn of information, update on up-to-date event around all over the world. And on the other hand, it has broadened a window of mind to new horizons with the fast, convenient, and accurate information, and especially its own free. And in the future, I think that newspaper or magazines will disappear to make play for the domination of ebook or internet.